Fans of Wisconsin were chanting, "Fire Luke Fickell." What is going on at Camp Randall? Locked On Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked On Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman, 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer. And I want to thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hey, do us a favor, hit that free subscribe button down below. You'll be doing yourself a favor. That way you'll never miss a single episode. And if you could share, follow, and like Locked On Big Ten, that would be great as well. And you can hype our YouTube videos too. So, fire Fickell, the chance. Plus, their brutal schedule coming up. They could keep losing for a while. And the buyout information and a quick peek, look ahead to week 5. All that coming up in just a minute. But look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm never one to get on the air anywhere and tout for a coach to be fired. Look, they're people. They're humans. They got families, livelihoods. I never call for it. But other people in Wisconsin don't feel the same. They're calling for it. Maryland rolled in there to Camp Randall, who used to have one of the greatest home field advantages in all of sports. And Maryland went in there with a freshman quarterback and won 27-20. The wheels are falling off for Luke Fickell. The fire Fickell chants at Camp Randall. Keep in mind, it's a loud place. This is one of the most quietest stadiums I've ever seen and heard this weekend. I couldn't believe how quiet it was. People were in awe in the first half. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. So the game ends. And Wisconsin's down 20-0. Team's going toward the tunnel. And then the fire Fickell chants start. Real quick on Maryland, true freshman Malik Washington, been phenomenal all season. There's no shame in his game. He's throwing touchdown passes. He's got an arm. He's like the lesser-known Bryce Underwood. Same size, same ability, maybe even better, maybe. But anyway, they did everything right against Wisconsin, including the offensive performance, defense. They had an interception with a 46-yard return that set up a score. They blocked a field goal. They blocked a punt. They had 6 sacks. Wisconsin could do nothing in this game, and the crowd was very frustrated. So here's where Wisconsin's problems begin. Since Luke Fickell has arrived in Madison 2+ seasons ago, look, he wanted to flip the program that was known for its huge offensive linemen and big, powerful, speeding running backs. That's been the bread and butter for Wisconsin forever. And he came in there with his offensive coordinator, Phil Longo, who's long gone by now. And they wanted to turn the program into a team that was known for an air attack offense. Wanted to get with the times. Wanted to throw the ball all over the yard. The problem is he never got a quarterback that could do it. In 2023, he brought in Tanner Mordecai, who did put up some big numbers at SMU, but Tanner Mordecai was not a passing quarterback. Look, I thought he was a heady player. I thought he ran the offense well, and he could run, but he couldn't throw. He didn't make a lot of mistakes, but he couldn't throw. And then we got hurt. Braden Locke came in, but Braden Locke just wasn't very accurate. Then in 2024, everybody's all excited because they got Tyler Van Dyke, the transfer from Miami. Everybody was excited. I wasn't. I warned you about him. He was just as likely to have a 3-interception game as a 3-touchdown game at Miami. But then he got hurt in the Alabama game, and that was done. This year, they bring in Billy Edwards Jr. from a 4-win Maryland team to be their quarterback. He gets hurt in week 1. Danny O'Neal has been in ever since. Edwards tried to give it a go against the Terps in the first series. He can't do it. He's still hurt with the sprained knee. I don't know if Danny O'Neal is going to be the guy or not. And then, let's be honest. Let's look at this schedule. We've talked about this all off season. First of all, I think the fans thought, all right, we might not win a lot of games, and we understand the schedule, but Maryland's going to be one of those wins. And then it wasn't. So I think they took that game for granted. Wisconsin fan does. You know, they're looking at it. Maryland's got a freshman quarterback. They're going to come in here on the road. We got home field advantage. Maryland only won 4 games last year. We're going to beat them. Still, they got embarrassed at home by the freshman quarterback and this Maryland team. And that was a week after getting badly beat by Alabama. All right, that happens. It's Alabama in Tuscaloosa. But don't forget, they only scored 3 points in the first half against Miami of Ohio before they pulled out a win there. And they struggled for a half against Middle Tennessee State before winning that game. Now is when the schedule really gets tough. Alabama aside. All right, have you seen their next 7 games? They're brutal. They realistically could lose all 7 of those. And faced with these last 2 losses, that would be a 9-game losing streak. All right, so let's look at it. They're at Michigan, October 4th. So they got a bye to get ready for this. But October 4th, they're at Michigan. It's going to be a tough one. Then Iowa comes to Camp Randall. Iowa looks like it's getting its act together. That's going to be a tough one. Then, number 1, Ohio State comes into town. What do you think is going to happen with that game? Then after that, after playing Ohio State at home, they hit the road to take on Oregon. Are you kidding me? Where are the wins here? There aren't any. Then they host Washington. Washington doesn't even punt. They score all the time. Then they travel to Indiana. You just saw what Indiana did to 9th-ranked Illinois this weekend, 63-10. And then they got Illinois, who, has been ranked in the top 10, aren't anymore, but my goodness. And then they close it out with Minnesota. Maybe they can get that one. That's tough. That streaks like that get coaches fired. So, yeah, fans at Camp Randall were expecting at least a win against Maryland. But they went down 20-0 at the half. The chance people saw the writing on the walls. This isn't happening. They're saying fire Fickell. If the Badgers do fire Fickell after this season, they just extended him, redid his contract in the offseason. I think they knew things were going to get rocky. I've said all summer long that Wisconsin could potentially be improved from last year, but you wouldn't know it by the record because of the schedule. But now they're not improved from last year, and the schedule is awful. Things are going to get rocky in Madison. Now, Fickell makes $7.7 million a year. If he is bought out, they would owe him $25 million this year. That'd be the second largest buyout in college football history. Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M was over $70 million. So they would pay Fickell over $300,000 a month until the year 2032 to write this off. Wisconsin Athletic Director CHRIS MCINTOSH, who, by the way, is a former Badger offensive lineman, he threw his vote of support behind Fickell in the Fickell program this weekend. He said he believes in the program. Fickell is 500 at this point after a handful of games this year and the last 2 seasons, 15-15. But with this stretch coming up, he's going to be sub 500 in a pivotal 3rd year. And look, they were excited to get Fickell. They got rid of Paul Chryst, a guy that won some games. And they said, well, we can get Luke Fickell. Did a great job at Cincinnati. He's got Ohio State ties. He's a likable guy. Everybody likes Luke Fickell. And I do think he's a good football coach. I really do. But it's not happening. And his first mistake every single year has been a quarterback. And along these lines, getting a new guy to transfer in every year that's not working out, you're not really developing a guy behind the scenes. Not a guy that could step in and win up some games against this schedule. So it's a problem. Badgers fans, I want to hear it. I don't hear from you Badger fans much. I hear from everybody else. I don't hear a lot from Badger fans. Let me hear from Badger fans in the comment section. If you are new to us, we're here every day. Talk about all the Big Ten from top to bottom, all the news, analysis, opinion on that news. We don't shy away from that. And in addition to the YouTube videos, our audio is on Apple and Spotify if you prefer there as well, so you can never miss an episode. But go ahead and share, follow, and like Locked On Big Ten. And if you could subscribe, that would be fantastic. We have a website, talkbig10.com, where all of our podcasts go. And you can check that out as well. I am going to tell you what we are going to do with our huge plans on this podcast this weekend coming up. All those details right here as we continue with another episode of Locked On Big Ten. The game. What's the game? The game has some really cool vintage caps. You remember when you used to go to games, get all dressed up, your sweatshirts and your hats? Remember the hat you wore? Had that old vintage logo on it. You can't get those anymore. But I can get them for you at the game. That's right. The game has the vintage style hats that we wore in the 80s and the 90s. And you can get them for the same price that we got them back in the 80s and 90s. $16.99 with a special offer I'm going to give you. Just use the code Locked On. That's it. Use the code Locked On when you go to thegamecaps.com. That's thegamecaps.com. Use my code Locked On. You get the great price for $16.99. While I talk about the Big Ten, I am an Indiana grad, and they sent me these. Look at these. Home and away, red and white. Nice stitching, the old logos, the old school ones, just like the ones I used to wear back in the day. TheGameCaps.com. Grab your team's classic bar or retro circle design, and use the code Locked On for an exclusive discount because legends wear the game. FanDuel makes watching the excitement of watching games even more exciting because you got a little something on it with FanDuel. Football season's here. Don't fool around. Jump in now. They've got a great deal. Can't miss offer here right now. New customers can bet just $5. And if your $5 bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. The app is super easy to use. You can find everything for point spreads, game totals, prop bets, futures, everything right there. Parlay them together, do individuals, whatever you want to do. And the paybacks are really, really fast when you win. So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Let me tell you about Square, because this episode is brought to you by Square. Your favorite neighborhood spots run on Square. There are certain businesses that make your neighborhood feel like home, whether it's that local sports bar that knows your name when you walk in the door, maybe the coffee shop that has your order ready when you walk in, the butcher, the restaurant, all that stuff that you go to regularly and are very comfortable with. They are run by Square. Your neighborhood businesses thrive, then the whole neighborhood thrives. And these local spots are what make the neighborhood feel like home. So many of them run on Square. Square is the proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. You can go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square. See you in the neighborhood. Thanks for checking us out here on Locked On Big Ten. Let me tell you what we're going to do here after I ask you to subscribe and share and follow and like Locked On Big Ten. Don't forget our website where we put all of our podcasts. If you want to catch yesterday's at talkbig10.com, talkbig10.com. So we are here every day, multiple podcasts every day. We release them every morning. But on the weekends, we pick a key game and we go live. This weekend, coming up, there's only one game to choose, right? Yeah, I know. Ohio State at Washington's big. Don't get me wrong. But the whiteout at Penn State, Oregon at Penn State, 7:30 NBC. When that's over, we're going live, probably 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific here on Locked On Big Ten for your real-time reaction with your real-time comments and mine unfiltered as soon as the game is over. Plus, we'll recap all the other games, including your Ohio State, Washington game, and all the other games as well. But check us out. Mark your calendars now to join us right after the game. We usually go on as soon as the winning coach does his on-field interview, and then boom, we go live. All right? Thanks for checking us out. Share and tell a friend about us as well. Many ways to interact with us at Twitter, at TalkBig10, our website, talkbig10.com. And also want to tell you about our Locked On family because they're putting on the college football kickoff show every Thursday. It is hosted by Drake Toll from Locked On Big 12, also two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former star Jesse Holley, and all of our Locked On hosts previewing all the games. Nobody else could do a job like this. The college football preview on Locked On. Catch it every Thursday on Fire TV. That'll do it for us. Thanks for tuning in, and I already can't wait till we talk again tomorrow. Tuesday Tweets tomorrow. We'll check that out as well. For Locked On Big Ten, I'm Craig Sheeman. We'll see you then.